Vacation rental agreements. So I get this question. I mean, it's probably about once a week. Like, is any agreement allowed? Are you supposed to send it to guest? Are you not supposed to send it to guest? It is essentially the vacation rental agreement is essentially an agreement between a vacation rental host, aka us, and probably you watching, and the guest. So it just outlines all the responsibilities, the payments, who's the guest, when are they checking in, how many total guests are included, just everything about it. I've got it shown right here. I'll send a link. The link will be in the comments down below. If it's not down below, shoot me a message and I'll send this directly to you. So it's really, I mean, it's super simple. Make this a little bit bigger. Kind of say it's, when the vacation begins, when it ends, when's check-in, when's check-out, what's the amount of rent. So let me kind of zoom out and paint a picture for you. So that's kind of what it is. Now, how do you use it is the next question. And is it worth it? And I'll answer all of those here in 1 second. So let me actually reread the question. The specific question was, for NC, are they required to sign the agreement to access the property? And is there a deadline by which each guest must sign? So the vacation rental agreement, yes, you are required to do it. We are a broker and we advise all of our clients. We do it for a lot of our clients if we're handling the management, and then we advise them to do it because by the law, if you're completely straight edged, you are required to submit for every single guest a vacation rental agreement. In North Carolina, you don't have to have the guest actually sign it, which is great. North Carolina finally did something good for us hosts and realtors. So the guests don't have to physically or electronically sign it. Them paying the reservation by the NC state law, that is them accepting the vacation rental agreement. So luckily, we don't have to have it signed. A lot of these softwares out there are built like these e-signature softwares. They're built for like actual signature for both parties. Luckily, North Carolina, you do not have to do it. Makes our job a lot easier as hosts. So how it actually works is, for us, the process. Booking comes in. We actually automate the creation of these agreements. And then one of our internal members signs off on it, make sure all the financials are right from our property management system, automatically creates it. We save it into Google Drive, and then we send that Google Drive to the guest specifically. I think recently Airbnb and Vrbo have not allowed links even for bookings. So what we do is we just email it to them. Versus what we used to do, just send it on platform. So makes it a little bit easier. So in North Carolina specifically, I don't know about the other 49 states or wherever you're located, if you have to have them sign it, but North Carolina specifically, no signature is needed. Them paying for the booking or checking into the property, that is their version of signing. Airbnb actually just released an article that says for host, or for guests, you do not have to sign anything the host sends you. So we've had pushback recently from Airbnb and guests where guests like, I'm not signing anything. Like I have an agreement with Airbnb, not you, host. First of all, that's a huge red flag. If you're a host and the guest is like, nope, I'm not signing anything. I don't care about what you say. That's a huge red flag. So make sure you are vetting those guests and taking those people very, very seriously. Because that could very well be a problem guest. Now, most of them are, they have a valid reason, for one way or the other. But in North Carolina specifically, that's how we kind of manage it. Let me second question Samantha had, is there a deadline by which the guest must sign? So kind of tying back into the first point, the guest doesn't technically have to sign it at booking. That's them signing it. Now, if you want to go one step further, if your state requires an actual e-signature, then yeah, I would probably put a timeline on it. I'd probably say maybe 24 to 48 hours. That's usually a decent amount of time to get a guest to be like, oh, okay, saw it. Yep, I'll sign it tonight. I'll sign it tomorrow. Whatever it is. If you have this in your listing on your house rules, it's very public info. And a guest doesn't sign and you say cancel the reservation, make sure you reach out to the booking platform to make sure you are not dinged for them not following the rules. Now, this is where it gets a little hairy with what does Airbnb say, what does Vrbo say, what does Booking.com say. But if you have it on your listing, make sure it's completely public and make sure you have a deadline. I would even follow up with the guests multiple times to make sure they sign it. We do that. And there's still times where guests are like, I have my notifications off. I don't see it. I thought it was spam, yada, 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 whatever it is. I'm going to actually read this blurb. Per the NC Vacation Rental Act, signature on this agreement or payment of money or taking possession of the property after receipt of the agreement is evidence of your acceptance of the agreement and your intent to use the property for vacation rental. So that kind of checks the box there. And then second question from Samantha, and if you have questions, drop them down below. How's this group able to cancel? Is this group able to cancel the reservation without being penalized? Yeah, so good question there. It's just so you can either tell the guest, hey, you cancel or sign the agreement. We need this done by today by 5 o'clock. Set a hard deadline. That's how things get done. Or if they still don't answer, you've called them, you've texted them, whatever it is, you've tried to reach them multiple times, then you can take it upon yourself to cancel the reservation. Just make sure you call in. I would call in beforehand just to make sure you're not being penalized. Because it could be guests just didn't see it. They didn't get the phone call. They thought it was a robocall or whatever it is. Just make sure you're covering your tail. I think it is a good way to protect us hosts. Like we've had chargebacks where we sent in the vacation rental agreement and we won those chargebacks for that specific reason. So I think the legwork on, thousands of rental agreements, we've only had a couple chargebacks, couple damages. Actually, damages is a pretty good blurb. There is a damage blurb in there that says, any damage I am responsible for. So we'll bring that up with hosts that if they don't want to pay or whatever, we'll just reference the rental agreement. So that's kind of how we've navigated the rental agreement. Let me bring up my notes again here and share with you guys. All right, we got some love here. Nagy, what's up? Minoz FN, how's it going? Nicholas, what is going on? All right, yes, Kai, I appreciate the comment. Can you sell your homemade burgers? No, I cannot do that. Thank you for the comment though. All right, so link to the agreement. I will put this in the comments down below just so everybody has the agreement. It's free. So required. I think I answered this, and I just want to make sure that yes, it is required by law. Some hosts are just going to ignore what I just said. Yes, it is required by law. Let me repeat that. Yes, it is required by law. For the 7 people that are viewing, yes, it is required by law. Once again, host, just anyways, yes, it is required. Is it worth it? 100%. I think that's a big question that hosts get afraid of is like, is this, manual work or automated work worth the hassle to potentially piss the guest off? Yes, I think it is worth it. You're trying to protect your home. You're trying to protect your clients. Like your most valuable asset is sometimes these rentals, these houses. So is it worth it? 1000%. I think the next question is like how to actually do it. For us, our property management system, Guesty, has a built-in e-signature function that took us some finagling to, fill out the fields automatically. So kind of the process is a reservation gets booked. Guesty, our property management system, auto creates this e-signature. We send it to one of our teammates, one of our CSRs, our remote team. They review it. They, make sure everything is good. They look at the financials, the taxes, damage deposit, pet fee, make sure all thing is there. They will signature it. And then once that's sent, they will save it in a Google Drive in the reservation folder, and then we're sending it directly to the guest. And we are specifically saying like, hey, no action needed here. There's nothing you need to do or sign it. It's more of like, here is the rental agreement that you signed up for. No action needed. Thank you. You will get your check-in info 3 days before your arrival. All that. So that's kind of the process. It's a lot of hosts just, I don't know, maybe they're scared to kind of stand their ground. Maybe they don't know. I think that's probably half the battle is guests just don't know. There's a lot of misinformation flying around there saying you like don't need it. It's pretty blatant, pretty obvious that that you definitely need a rental agreement. So hopefully that was helpful. I don't see any specific questions in the comments, just some love. Thank you guys for watching. Once again, Wednesday, 6 o'clock. Sorry, I was a little bit late. See you guys next week. Friday office hours. We're going to be 1 o'clock Eastern. Jump on, learn something new. Let me help you make some more money.